I want to quickly isolate the elephant in the room, and I want to quickly bring in Dr. Theo Acheampong before I go back to Dr. Santan, because obviously of your economic background as well to this. The inclusion of the individual bondholders who were initially excluded, could that prove to be the final nail in the coffin? And I wonder, political economic wise, was it a smart move to do, if indeed we've analyzed and say that really is your core base?
Remember that initially they were not part, and it was only after the pensioners or the pension funds were excluded that the government now had to find a way of bringing somebody else right into the game. In other words, more like a zero sum, a game here, and the individual bondholders are a lot. I think there was a bit of a miscalculation on the part of the government in thinking that these guys would struggle to mobilize and would struggle then to actually, give them the pushback that we're seeing currently. Because under the terms of most of these sovereign debt restructurings, you need what is called a qualifying majority, typically about 75%, right? Where if 75% of the bondholders say that we accept the new restructuring terms that are being offered to us, it then applies to the other 25% or the minority guys. As we speak currently, the government is struggling to reach that, target. Hence why we already have seen the extension happening 3 times, right? Already, and likely to even be extended much further. And that is because they did not take into account, right, the fact that a lot of the individual bondholders could actually mobilize quite quickly. But the story in there also is that, or what it tells me really, is that these middle class or individual bondholders, if they can mobilize this quickly against the proposed debt exchange, then they can also mobilize very quickly in actually voting a government out because they have been impoverished and been made much worse off than that. So it was a big political, in my view, miscalculation. And therefore, hence why you see the Ministry of Finance trying to sit down with them and others to sort of reach some consensus or compromise. But however you slice and dice it, because there are implied losses and implied haircuts with the debt exchange program, some of them would still decide politically either to vote the government out or just remain apathetic and therefore not vote at all. That's the reality.